We are back from Pittsburgh, where we spent much of the weekend. The people in that community had a profound impact on us, their grief, their tolerance, and their strength, even as that community learns tonight what really happened inside the Tree of Life synagogue, the horror that played out there. Tonight, you will hear from the first responders who raced in to save lives and the rabbi who tells us this evening he was in the front of that sanctuary. He could only help those in the first few rows. These are just some of the faces of the 11 worshipers whose lives were cut short: a retired researcher, a doctor, 2 brothers, a dentist, a retired accountant, a youth baseball coach. There were others, among them the husband and wife, the woman who was 97 years old. And now we learn there were supposed to be so many children in that synagogue, but they had postponed their class until the next day. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman leads us off from Pittsburgh.
Police and SWAT teams were already responding when Dr. Keith Murray got the text. Active shooter, officer shot, multiple dead. Dr. Murray said goodbye to his family and ran out the door.
You read that and your veins just go cold with ice. You know, made sure I kissed all 3 of them goodbye, told them I loved them, because you never know what's going to happen.
While the doctor was racing to the Tree of Life synagogue, Rabbi Jeffrey Myers was inside, hiding from a killer. Moments earlier, he'd heard the gunshots.
Something just innately told me that's a semi-automatic weapon. I immediately announced to my congregation, drop to the floor, do not move, don't utter a sound, be still.
The gunman, who police have named as Robert Bowers, was heading for the sanctuary. The rabbi trying to protect his flock.
The people who were towards the front of the sanctuary, I quickly tried to evacuate them up. Regretfully, there was no way for me to get back to the remaining 8 people that were in the back of the sanctuary. 1 of them was wounded. The remaining 7 people were slaughtered in my sanctuary.
He stayed on to act as the eyes and ears for 911 dispatchers.
I'm hearing people screaming, and it's seared in my brain. I can't erase that tape. I heard one woman, I think I know who it was. My husband's been shot, screaming, and then that was quickly, and then afterwards she was silenced. I know who it was. It was my congregant.
Is that the couple that was killed?
Yeah.
Sylvan and Bernice Simon, they were married in the same synagogue where they died. Minutes later, more SWAT teams on the scene. Dr. Murray right there with them.
Within, 20, 30 seconds of making entry, we actually find this elderly couple who was just kind of hiding in one of the antechambers.
The gunman still in the synagogue as the doctor searched for survivors.
One of my TAC medics found another woman kind of leaning over one of the deceased, and she was very much alive. I just think that she was in so much shock. She didn't realize that she was shot, and I think she just didn't want to leave her friend.
The shooter blasting at SWAT officers, one police officer riddled with bullets. Dr. Murray treating him on the floor below.
One of the other officers drug him out of the room. Someone else removed his armor, took his helmet off, and they carried him down the stairs. So in between him getting shot and him getting handed off to us, 20 seconds. It was amazing.
Finally, the alleged suspect surrendered.
Suspect's talking about all these Jews need to die.
Rabbi Myers, later hiding in a bathroom, on the phone with 911 the whole time, finally led to safety by the SWAT team.
How grateful were you to see them when they came in?
Immensely. I really thought I was dead. I was gonna hang up my cell phone and make a video for my wife, in the hopes that maybe they'd find the cell phone.
Rabbi Myers deserves so much credit for helping as many people as he could. And Matt Gutman joined us tonight from Pittsburgh again. And Matt, the suspect was wheeled into court today, and I know you were right there in the courtroom.
That's right, David. He was brought in a wheelchair. He'd been shot multiple times, but the hospital released him for this court date. But what is perhaps most chilling about the man suspected of committing the atrocity in that synagogue behind me is that he seems so normal in court, chatting with his attorneys, compliant with the bailiffs, and apparently undisturbed completely by the 11 murder charges that he faces. David.
All right, Matt Gutman leading us off tonight. Matt, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.